None of your Ghana at all. Ghana musician, Bemi Chololoni, me or the car, Namia Konuchi Fafada. Akodada, Nanya Exo. Mutani de was soon about Alakasanga and watching. Bafo the Hutu, Rachi Buala Sat Malawi. Kajemi, for Shiki phone, JB, she won't twin your left. Sudo. Munye Liberia, Sierra Leone, Angola, Rwanda, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Sudan, Ivory Coast, Okumofra, Onimbibia.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominic Che, and in today's lesson I'll be talking about knowing your intervals. What are some of the importance of knowing your intervals? What do we use the intervals in music? How intervals will help us sing the melodies of a particular song. I'll be using the song called Amazing Grace, for instance. How do I know that the song is so do? That is from the fifth note to the tonic of the notes within the scale that I'm singing, to know that this is where the melody will start from. And also finding the key of a song. They are all from the idea of knowing your intervals. In today's lesson, I'll still be using a video from Warren McPherson, because going for it, he helped me build up my technique as a pianist. So in the foundational videos, I'll be using videos from these people, so that in subsequent videos, I'll use mine, especially when we get into playing within the context of Africa and Ghana, to be specific. So let's enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as I will be.
On the piano, the smallest interval there is called a half step or a semitone. You might hear both terminologies, half step, semitone, they're the same thing. And this is the smallest distance on the piano. If we go up here from C to D, this interval is called a second. And an interval is basically the distance between any two notes. That's how we measure distances in music. Intervals. The relationship between two notes is called an interval. So this interval is called a half step. This is called a whole step. This is called a minor third, major third, perfect fourth, augmented fourth, perfect fifth, augmented fifth, major sixth, minor seventh, major seventh, and octave. And an octave is basically the same note repeated at a higher pitch or a lower pitch. It's an octave. If we should go beyond an octave, what do we get? Well, we know that from C to C is an octave, which is eighth notes. If we go up this note, we wouldn't call it an augmented eighth. No, I've never heard that terminology before. But we would call it a minor ninth. Minor ninth. major ninth. And if you realize, down here we call C to D a second, major second, but up here we're calling it a ninth. It's called a ninth because once we pass that threshold of octave, then we just keep going 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. We stop there. We don't go 14th, 15th, and so on, unless you're talking about compound interval. That's getting a little bit too deep in the theory bank. So what is the ninth? So basically the ninth is a second play an octave higher. Yep. And we call this a ninth or the major ninth. If we lower it, it's a minor ninth. If we raise it, it's a sharp ninth. Sharp ninth. The 10th is the same thing as the third, basically. So you probably won't see any chord that's spelled, say, at the 10th, because the 10th is the same thing as the third. The 4th is also the 11th, an octave higher. The 11th, which you'd see a lot, for example, this is a C11th chord. C11th. So the interval from C, middle C, to the F, an octave away from the 4th, is the 11th. The 5th is also called the 12th, but again, another interval you won't hear anyone mention. You won't see it associated with any chord symbol, the 12th, because it's the same thing as the 5th. 13th, however, you'll see a lot. It's basically the 6th, the 13th. And this is called a flat 13th if we go to the left. Or lower the 13th, it's called a flat 13th. If you raise the 13th, it's the same thing as the 7th. It's a minor 7th. So you probably won't see a sharp 13th, probably. Not sure about that one, but I don't think I've come across one yet. And then major 7th, it's the same thing. So we basically stop as it relates to chord construction. When we're talking about interval, we stop at the 13th. And then you'll have, probably a flat 13th, something like that. But this is where we stop.
If I'm starting from my C, then I know that I have 12 notes before I get to another C. What do I use some of these things to do? For example, if I pick a song, let's say Amazing Grace, how do I know that it is the 5th note within a scale to the tonic or the one of that key that will give me the sound that will sound like the melody of the song? Which is why I've made this video. Follow up through this tutorial, then you will know exactly what I want to mean. It is your ability to know and recognize intervals that will help you to be able to identify melodies. And sometimes, even finding the key of a song, you will not even know that you are moving towards the right position on the keyboard. That will help you to find the key to a song. But your understanding of intervals will lead you there. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, because I am starting all the way from the foundational course, and we are hoping to grow together to achieve our aims. Thank you very much.